After a lot of silence and prayer, I realized what Yahweh was showing me. It's not an invasion of people, it's an invasion of demons, and they have settled right here in Minneapolis and the surrounding communities. If you slow down a minute and just listen and observe, you'll see it. The demons. The only way to fight this is with prayer, and fervent prayer. In fact, I'm gonna go so far as to say we need to do prayer and fasting for these types of demons. And I think I can prove it with God's word. It's in the book of Mark, it's in chapter 9, when Jesus heals a demon-possessed boy.
When they returned to the other disciples, they saw a large crowd surrounding them, and some teachers of religious law were arguing with them. When the crowd saw Jesus, they were overwhelmed with awe, and they ran to greet him. "What is all this arguing about?" Jesus asked. One of the men in the crowd spoke up and said, "Teacher, I brought my son so you could heal him. He is possessed by an evil spirit that won't let him talk, and whenever this spirit sees him, it throws him violently to the ground. Then he foams at the mouth and grinds his teeth and becomes rigid. So I asked your disciples to cast out the evil spirit, but they couldn't do it." Jesus said to them, "You faithless people, how long must I be with you? How long must I put up with you? Bring the boy to me." So they brought the boy, but when the evil spirit saw Jesus, it threw the child into a violent convulsion, and he fell to the ground, writhing and foaming at the mouth. "How long has this been happening?" Jesus asked the boy's father. He replied, "Since he was a little boy, the spirit often throws him into the fire or into water, trying to kill him. Have mercy on us and help us if you can." "What do you mean if I can?" Jesus asked. "Anything is possible if a person believes." The father instantly cried out, I do believe, but help me overcome my unbelief." When Jesus saw that the crowd of onlookers was growing, he rebuked the evil spirit. "Listen, you spirit that makes this boy unable to hear and speak. He said, I command you to come out of this child and never enter him again." Then the spirit screamed and threw the boy into another violent convulsion and left him. The boy appeared to be dead. A murmur ran through the crowd as people said, "He's dead." But Jesus took him by the hand and helped him to his feet, and he stood up. Afterward, when Jesus was alone in the house with his disciples, they asked him, "Why couldn't we cast out that evil spirit?" Jesus replied, "This kind can be cast out only by prayer."
Not only did the book of Mark talk about it, the disciple Matthew wrote about it as well. This version was from the New King James. Most of us would remember this story from our youth. We all went to Sunday school, but somehow that's all changed. Proverbs says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." I'm hoping it rings a bell in the hearts of those who hear it. This is how Matthew tells the story.
And when they had come to the multitude, a man came to him, kneeling down to him and saying, "Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is an epileptic and suffers severely, for he often falls into the fire and often into the water. So I brought him to your disciples, but they could not cure him, Then Jesus answered and said, "Oh faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I bear with you? Bring him here to me." And Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour.
Then the disciples came to Jesus privately and said, "Why could we not cast it out?"
So Jesus said to them, "Because of your unbelief, for surely I say to you, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you."
However, this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting.
But wait, there's more. Not only in the books of Matthew and Mark, Luke tells of this same event at the same point in time. Remember, Luke was a Gentile believer, a physician and historian who traveled with the Apostle Paul. Luke wrote both the book of Luke and the book of Acts. This was his version. Day. After they had come down the mountain, a large crowd met Jesus. A man in the crowd called out to him, "Teacher, I beg you to look at my son. My only child, an evil spirit, keeps seizing him, making him scream. It throws him into convulsions so that he foams at the mouth. It batters him and hardly ever leaves him alone."
I begged your disciples to cast out the spirit, but they couldn't do it.
Jesus said, "You faithless and corrupt people, how long must I be with you and put up with you?"
Then he said to the man, "Bring your son here." As the boy came forward, the demon knocked him to the ground and threw him into a violent convulsion. But Jesus rebuked the evil spirit and healed the boy. Then he gave him back to his father. Awe gripped the people as they saw this majestic display of God's power.